Good morning, residents. Supervisor Thurston here with another installment of our Talk of the Town on October 27th, 2020. Welcome to our event today. I hope that everyone is staying safe, remaining well. We're just coming off of another board meeting, which was held last night, I guess until about 11:30. It was our second meeting pertaining to the budget. For those of you that have been able to watch the meetings or attend live, last night we went through a number of the other departments of the town with their budget requests, discussing their budget requests against my tentative budget. And as you heard, the board went ahead and largely passed that budget proposal with some minor modifications based on the inputs from the board members. What that means, and if you listen to the meeting, you would hear the explanation, is that under the law, we have to approve a preliminary budget that then goes to a public meeting. A public meeting is for anyone to come and to give their opinions, comments on the budget one way or the other. And then based on that, the board will make final determinations, probably some additional adjustments to the budget numbers, and then that will be passed and submitted later on in November. I believe the date is November 21st that we must submit the budget. But the budget is proceeding very well in our deliberations. As you're aware from my previous comments, both written and oral, I submitted a budget that is very much designed to keep the tax impact at the minimal level so that you don't see any increase over the previous year to taxes. In fact, we're trying to keep it at least break even, if not lower than the previous year. We have a lot of course, challenges, particularly when it comes to employees. We're negotiating two union contracts as I speak, but the board reaffirmed, I think very clearly, what I had submitted in the budget, which is no increases in compensation for any of the elected officials in the town. So that is a commitment that we will continue to honor, very much so. We talked about other elements. You would hear some discussion on capital expenses. This coming year or in the next couple years, we're looking at capital expenses really coming out of additional bond funding, but that's only bond funding as we pay down existing debt. Excuse me. Then we will be looking at basically bonding with those funds. So again, that there should be no impact, certainly under current interest rates, to the taxpayers, you all, and also our businesses. So the other discussions turn to the replacement of used equipment, particularly vehicles. We have been adopting and putting into place a better monitoring process, understanding what is the useful life of a vehicle, and then trying to turn it in. What we do is we buy trucks, cars, other equipment off of state or federal reduced price bidding program that gets the vehicles to us at a much cheaper price than you would on the open market. And then the used vehicles, we will sell those through auction. And the idea is to replenish the funds with any proceeds from those sales. So we're looking at a much more business-like approach to really handle capital expenses going forward in the years ahead. In addition, we had more discussion about our parks, recreation. One of the things that we'll be discussing more in the coming months is that the town has approximately 1,000 acres of land that it has ownership in. This is outside of the 14 principal parks that we have. So our parks like Carnwath, like Rockingham, Robinson, Quiet Acres, etc., are not included in that 1,000 acres. These are lands that we've gotten, whether through conservation easements, through tax foreclosures, and a variety of dedications over the years. And a lot of the land, or most of the land, the town does not have any plans to use. So we're looking at ways of how to dispose it or turn it over to local communities, perhaps create a new park if the local community would be interested in doing that, such as at Wappinger Village area. And we have a lot of old pump station grounds, from the old days when we had 9 or more water districts, sewer districts. Most of those facilities, in fact, are decommissioned and have become a part of either this Wappinger Central Sewer District or the Wappinger Central Water District. Also, you would have heard in the meeting where we were discussing the successful drilling and soon to be bringing online water wells at Hilltop, 3 new wells there, so that the town will have more than an abundant supply of water even in the most dry of drought period of time, is our hope and belief. So we're continuing to make progress on those infrastructure issues, but also now starting to look at grants with respect to infrastructure expansion, and as well as some other programs we discussed and will be discussing at the November 9th meeting about a possible county development block grant that we could use for expansion of enhancing recreation facilities out at Carnwath. So stay tuned for further developments with respect to our parks and recreation facilities. We will be again holding a public meeting on November 5th at our 7 o'clock time slot. That's the Thursday after Election Day. So if you're interested, you can come out or, of course, watch it online. In the meantime, should you have any questions, please let me know. We want to remind people that we will be having a socially distanced veterans program on the 11th of November. Now, this will be held just outside of Town Hall at the Flagpole Memorial area. We will be starting that at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and you're welcome to come out, but please bring your masks, and we'll keep everyone socially distant during that event. But we feel it's very important to recognize, especially these tough times, our veterans, and we want to pay special homage to them and all the accomplishments that they've had in the past. So please come out, or hopefully we'll be able to tape it and then repost it on our cable television channels, as well as perhaps YouTube. Also, I want to just remind everyone to do the 3 W's, which is to wear your mask when you're not able to be socially distant and not outdoors. Please wash your hands regularly. There is increasing number of studies that show that the lifespan of the germs of the virus are longer than were earlier believed on surfaces, and then other contact that you may have, such as opening doorknobs and so forth. So please wash your hands, and then also watch your social distancing when you're attending events. We continue to maintain our strict protocols here in Town Hall to all visitors. Again, a reminder, you come in through the north entrance, which is the main entrance to Town Hall. Check in, your temperature's taken. If you don't have a mask, we have one. Our numbers now, I think since we opened in July 6th, are approaching 8,000 people. Of course, a lot of them was for paying the taxes, but we've had a real active participation of people seeking permits for do-it-yourself types of projects, whether it's decks. Swimming pools are still being built despite the cold weather because of the tremendous backlog in those sort of things. So please do that and continue to help the town of Wappinger as well as Dutchess County to stay well within the acceptable areas of the seven statistical elements that the county looks at to remain on the path to what we hope is full opening without the delay. The 7-day average has creeped up a little bit. We were around the mid 1/2 percentage point. We're at 0.99%, just below 1%, which is still well below the 3%, which they use as kind of a trigger point to determine what may have to happen next. Testing continues to run strong. We're up to around 215,000 tests taking place. Active cases since the last time we've spoken have gone up slightly to 150 cases. Good news is that the hospitalization rate is down from I think the high of around, recent high of around 13 to 15. We're down now to 9 people still being hospitalized within Dutchess County hospitals. The death rate has creeped up slightly to 165 since the onset of the pandemic. And our well wishes go out to everyone who's lost loved ones in that, including one of our members of our own town recreation committee who is dearly missed. And the town's record of active cases had gone up during the last month to around 17, but as of the numbers that I saw yesterday, we were down to around 12. So we're still maintaining for a town of our size, based on the population and other factors, a decent number or consistent with other large towns and municipalities in the area. So please continue to be very attentive, especially as the colder weather hits us, and be very careful with indoor gatherings, which will be most tempting, of course, during Thanksgiving and Christmas and other holidays, Jewish holidays as well. So please be careful with everyone. Last but not by any means least, I want to wish Mayor Matt Alexander the best of luck in his new endeavors, as he has submitted yesterday his resignation letter as mayor of the village of Wappinger Falls. In the nearly 3 years that I have been able to work with Matt, we've accomplished a lot together in support of mutual projects. There's no person that has been more dedicated and caring for the community, not just the village, but also the greater Wappinger area. He has been a great partner, and we'll miss him in his new endeavors going forward, and I clearly understand his need to leave right now. I think it's around 18 years that he's served the village and the town extremely well. So again, good luck, Matt. We'll miss you. Stay in touch. Holler if there's anything we can do. So on that note, until we meet again, please stay safe and remain well, and have a good day.